All right, y'all, welcome back to part 3. We're halfway through how to reduce belly fat and improve diabetes health. The 2-1 punch, okay? And it's powerful because in addressing your belly fat, you are addressing your diabetes health. And I'm talking to my skinny fat people out there too. You may think, well, I'm not fat, I'm not overweight, but as if you saw the first video, you can have, you could be underweight or in a weight category of being ideal, and still have diabetes. And that's because the fat that's tied to diabetes is the internal fat, right? But by reducing that and the fat that you can see, the belly fat, you are decreasing your risk of complication from diabetes. You're also setting yourself up for diabetes reversal. Okay, so how do we take care of this? Follow the steps 1 through 5. Number 3 is simple and probably a little bit obvious. If you want to decrease your fat, you got to get rid of fat, okay? And that is saturated fat, the fat that comes from animal products, y'all. So the saturated fat that we find in our foods, we find it in plant foods as well. But the saturated fat but there's a lot more saturated fat in animal products. And at the end of the video, we'll list examples of what animal products are versus plant foods, just in case it's not obvious to everyone. But the real reason you want to know is why. Why, Lewis? Why are you picking on animal products? See, I'm gonna get into that. But number 1, I want to tell you why I'm picking on fat, okay? The reason why fat needs to be addressed is because fat is linked to insulin resistance. Well, what is insulin resistance? Insulin resistance is the reason type 2 diabetics become diabetic and struggle with diabetes, okay? What that is your body is not sensitive to the insulin it's producing. So your pancreas works in overdrive and making more and more of this stuff, insulin. The problem with that is insulin, which is a very powerful and very important hormone, is responsible for fat storage. So the more insulin your body's making, the more fat you are storing, okay? And unfortunately, the more fat you have in your body, the more you become resistant to insulin. Do you see the cycle, right? So when you're resistant to insulin, you produce more insulin. You're actually, what causes insulin resistance, and I'll link studies, okay, in the description section that show that fat is the determining cause of insulin resistance, okay? Now, for type 1 diabetics, it's the opposite problem. Type 1 diabetics, they're not producing insulin at all. And that's why many of them actually struggle with gaining weight or are losing weight, right, over time, because their body's not producing insulin, the fat storage hormone, at all. So, in improving your daily fat percentage in the area of 15% of total daily calories. Right now, most of us are averaging 30% or more, well over 30% for most of us. If we can bring that fat percentage to 15% or less of total calories, you are good, okay? I've witnessed it with my wife. I've witnessed it with patients I've worked with. If you decrease your fat percentage, you will decrease your resistance to insulin and you will start to lose weight, okay? The second reason that you want to be at a 15% of when it comes to your daily fat percentage is because when you take a lot of saturated fat to your body, what that does is increase your risk for diseases like heart attack, strokes, dementia, even cancer. I will also link studies of that. So in looking at those studies, you can see that this is not something Lewis is making up, okay? By decreasing the saturated fat, especially that comes from animal products, you will decrease your risk of all causes of mortality. I mean, what else can I say? There's so many good reasons. You're going to get rid of your diabetes. You're going to reduce your belly fat. You're going to decrease your chance of a long-term complication, diseases, and premature death. And looking at the first 3 videos of this series, you should walk away understanding that the ideal diet for you to eat is a whole food, plant-based vegan diet that is low in fat. How much fat? 15%. There are apps that you can use to help track this, but I want to help you even more than that, okay? First of all, just so that it's clear, take a look at this image that shows you foods that are high in saturated fat. But to help you even further, I want to provide an opportunity for you to get meals, get recipes that are already perfected for diabetics. I've put together a 2-week sample where you can try out meals and recipes that taste great. And yes, there is a variety of food that you can eat as a whole food, plant-based vegan eater, okay? Most people tell me, man, I can never eat plant-based. I can never be vegan, you know? What do you guys eat? Just grass? You know, I've heard it all. But there's so much foods you can eat and so much variety to it. So I want to give this sample away to you for free. It's in the description section. All right. Like this video and so that more people can reach it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to watch part 4 and 5. And I hope to see you on the next video, because we're going to be talking about some other key steps to reduce belly fat and reverse your diabetes. Okay. So keep watching, stay tuned. Again, my name is Lewis Bertus, physician assistant and diabetes reversal health coach. Thanks for watching Diabetes 180.